To my astonishment, I'm going to be 68 years old this month. It's a miracle. I live in Barrington and I am gay. I came out when I was about 24 years old. If you do the math, that was 1973. And when I was young and coming out, here's some things that came to my mind. I was excited about exploring who I was. The gay liberation movement had only just begun in 1969 at Stonewall in New York. Like all other gay people at that time, I faced some real discrimination. I could not even begin to imagine that one day there'd be gay marriage as the law of the land. Couldn't even imagine it. Because I was and very much felt myself to be part of a minority that was discriminated against, two things occurred. One, I knew when to hold them and when to fold them. I kept my identity to myself when it felt unsafe to do otherwise. And you know what? In the 1970s, that was a lot of the time. I also spent a lot of my time in lesbian and women-only spaces because it felt safer and it felt like these people understand me. The last decade or so have been truly amazing for those of us who came out in the 1970s. I don't personally watch TV, but my friends who do tell me there's gay people on TV. Can you imagine? Maybe I should start watching it. There's gay people at the movies. And it's not just in Andersonville or in Boys Town that you see gay couples walking down the street holding hands. Out here in the northwest suburbs you see it. It's wonderful. As a gay woman who knows what it's like to be an outsider, and as a lifelong political progressive and a on-again, off-again activist, I also know how very true Benjamin Franklin's words are. We must all indeed hang together, or most assuredly, we will hang separately. Yeah, so in that regard, I've aligned myself with black folks, with my Latino sisters and brothers, the differently abled, and now with Muslims, anyone who seemed to be outside the so-called rapidly disappearing majority in this country. I don't know about you, but when I've gone to Democratic things, I worked on Obama's campaign, I worked on Bernie Sanders' campaign, I love the big tent we're in. I love the diversity. I love seeing people of all ages, all colors, all persuasions, and wearing clothes that are even more outlandish than what I wore in my youth. I have also felt, though, in the last decade that I can have a broader sense of being me, that my sexuality has not been so under assault that it has to be my primary identity. So when I was younger, virtually all of my friends were other lesbians. I felt that they got me and had my back. But you know what? Sometimes that was all that we had in common. So that was something that held me back from being Diane the writer, Diane the spiritual seeker, Diane the politico, Diane the activist, all those many parts of me. So the last 10 years, being able to be more of who I am in all ways has felt great to me. That's not just true about me. As each of us has the opportunity to be all we can be, the world is a much better place. Yeah, I was invited to this rally by two new friends, two smart, kind, loving, warm, straight women whom I've met through political work. I hardly know them at all, and yet they stand by my side. Because you know what? We really are all in this together. Yeah. Maybe you came today because you're a gay guy or a gay woman. Maybe you're trans. Maybe you have a gay family member. Or maybe, just maybe, you came because we really are all one family. Yeah. So when the current fascist regime, with their fundamentalist religious underpinnings, threatens gay people, I believe we all are threatened. I am not a Muslim. I'm not even religious. but I feel we are all greatly threatened by the Muslim ban. So too all of us, gay, straight, and somewhere in between, are threatened by the looming assault on gay rights. We must stand together against hate. I've got to get my prop here. See my old body hanging over the side there. Hate has no home here. I am so honored and grateful that all of you stand with me on this day, and you can bet your ass that I will stand with you. We are all in this together. Yeah. I'll close with a few words from Martin Niemöller that are so apt for this time. You've probably heard this. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I am not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I am not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I am not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Thank you to Jill Coons and the other organizers. Thank you to Kelly Wagner and Jill McCutcheon for inviting me. Thanks to my many friends who came along. And thanks from the bottom of my heart to all of you for standing up for what's right, for saying yes to love, for saying no to hate, and saying, hate has no home here. Say that with me. Hate has no home here. Thank you very much. Oh, hate has no home here. 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 Patrick, it is your turn to come to the mic. I invite Patrick.